Well, before the break, we saw how the St Kilda Football Club, like all clubs, Joe, are focusing on the mental health and well-being of their players more than ever. The pressure is incredible, it seems, at the moment for professional sports people. Brought about, I think, some ways by how visible everything is these days. You can't escape being in the limelight with social media, but I think it may be more prevalent with children today as well. So my question is, how hard should we as parents push our kids to achieve? Rachel, I want to ask you, are you pushing the kids to achieve or are you sitting back and letting them just evolve on their own?
You know, my theory on this, Darcy, is every child is completely different. I look at Violet and treat her differently, totally differently to what I'm treating Dom, especially as they grow. I can already see with Violet, I'm going to be a lot more timid and sensitive in my approach.
She's 5 years of age.
She's 5,
yeah.
Dom's 2,
Yep.
but I can see he's a lot more resilient. So my approach is going to be different. I'm a big fan of the push. I think it's incredibly healthy, but I think it should be done by coaches and teachers. And I think at home, that should be the space for the support, the guidance and the nourishment, that yin and yang approach.
What does a push look like, though? What would that mean?
Well, you think about sport, for example. So a push is driving them to achieve a certain outcome or a certain level of success.
Yes.
I've got an alternate point of view on this, Rach,
Yeah,
because I'm going to fire up. There's a study I reference all the time in America. 75% of kids over the age of 13 quit playing sport because the one reason, their parents. They get in the car, they want to have fun, and their dad or their mum goes, why weren't you more like Joe? Why didn't you play like Heinzie? And they decide it's not fun anymore and they quit playing sport. The ugly parent syndrome at junior sport, give me an hour and a half and I'll give you story after story of parents who push their kids so hard they hate playing anymore. So I think there's a balance between you want them to do stuff, but not to the point where you drive them mad.
That's the whole thing.
But I think what's interesting is you use the word achieve there. And for me, if you're pushing a child to achieve, it's all about the outcome. Whereas I prefer to see for my daughter who's 10 and loves sport, but may not be she's not going to excel at it necessarily. For me, it's about the process. So I encourage for her to be involved. I don't need there to be an outcome. And encouragement for me, I think, is far more important than push.
Yeah.
You know, that you encourage them to work hard, you encourage them to go, but you're not going to be all, really aggressive about it.
I really like that. Growing up, I was overweight. I absolutely was terrified of sport and physical activity at school. My parents didn't push. They were distracted with their life, their work. Now, in reflection, I would have loved a gentle push, more of a push, because what it reinforced for me was that when I didn't like something or I didn't feel like I was good at something, I could back out. Now, going through adolescence and into young adulthood, I reinforced that backing out was okay because I didn't have that gentle push. So I'm not saying push hard, but I think gently guiding and pushing is actually helpful and would have helped my development.
I think that is really interesting that you do see some children who give up very quickly. Like they want to be good at something straight away. And I've had that conversation with my daughter that, babe, you need to go. You've committed to this. I'm paying for the lessons. So you're going to go, right? But you're not going to be great straight away. So encouragement to just, OK, today you got one serve in the court. Today you managed to learn that one note on that piano.
And there's a bit of common sense. If you're standing on the sideline screaming at your kid, your kid's crying, you might have got it over the top.
A little too far, maybe.
But I think the key thing is that passion. If they're not interested or passionate about something, they're not going to want to achieve that. And the achievement, I think, Joe, should be set by the coach or the teacher. That's their space to do the pushing, our space to say, good on you. You're doing amazing. And
the encouragement rather than the...
It was so desperate. He was an ex-AFL player. He was so desperate to get his kid to play AFL footy. The only way he could do was to tell his son that his footy boots were tap shoes. And he was in the goal square doing musical theatre. I'm going, take him to musical theatre. He needs to be... No, next year he's going to play footy. Next year he's going to love it.
It just breaks my heart for him. You really do need to listen to your children. You need to give them the opportunity to speak openly and not be fearful around the fact that actually, you know what, this is your dream, not my dream. I actually don't wish to do this right now.
And beyond what it is that they're learning, it's about the skills of you won't be good at everything straight away. Don't quit. Don't give up and you can do it. Supportive.
And the experimentation with trying new things. So that diversity in the extracurricular activities, just so we know, What do you like?
I think also, though, it's important to know the difference between encouragement and praise, because praise actually teaches our children to be perfectionists and not have a go and not be risk takers. If you imagine a dog who's handed, a little treat, that's what you're doing when you're praising children, whereas encouragement is about the process and teaching them to work really hard and be resilient.
We've struck on a passion topic. We could come back to this one. Go to houseofwellness.com.au.